What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're not going to be working on this. We're not going to be working on this. We're going to be working on stuff that actually allows me to afford all of this and my lifestyle and everything else that we go and build on this channel. This is the stuff that's behind the scenes that you guys probably don't see, but let's go ahead and get straight to it. We'll show you guys how we make our money and how we go ahead and get these cars also back on the road and give them a second chance and have another customer enjoy a brand new car for themselves. So we got this 2013 Toyota Corolla. It's got a little dinger right there. Got this thing from the auction house, was a repossession. Had a little dinger right here on the fender, and we're trying to get it worked out a little bit. We've been playing around with it. It was a bigger dent than that. The bumper was also hanging off just like this. Well, it had actually one bolt, but it was a gap like this. So we took the bolt out, and we're gonna have to go ahead and get this car done. Get it all ready for sale again. As you guys can see, the glove box is broken off of it. This little trim right here looks like it came apart. Maybe just clips back in. So there's little stuff like this that we go ahead. This bumper is gonna need some paint work. And, you know, otherwise, it's got some stains in the back seat over there. Glove box is popped out, as I said. But stuff like this is what makes money and sells really quick, and you can turn and flip these on the side. Even if you don't have access to the auction house, you can get them from Facebook Marketplace and whatnot. This week we also bought a G37. Now this thing was a trade-in to a new car store. Very nice car, all black with the InKey wheels. It's got intakes on it already. It's getting detailed up right now, and everything on this thing was clean already, ready to go. We went through it, make sure everything's good to go, check all the modules for fault codes, go through it, change fluids. Now this thing's all getting all oiled up, shined up, polished out, getting the interior all vacuumed out. And then we also got two other cars. So here's the two other cars we got. We got a little Avalon, 2006 Avalon with 145,000 miles. And we got this 2012 Honda Odyssey. Now the Odyssey is gonna need the bumper to be little touch-up spots over here to spray in, get this thing ready to go, buff out the lights. This thing's gonna get an overall paint job. So we're gonna send this thing out, get it all overall paint job. Stuff like this takes up too much time of mine, so I don't like doing overall paint jobs because, as you guys can know, your time is money, so you gotta make sure that everything is done properly so you're not wasting time on one car. While this one's getting painted, I can get this one knocked out, the other one inside the shop, and that one all done. So it doesn't make any sense to tie up your time on one. Now, if you're doing onesies or twosies, it might make sense. But this one's gonna need a really good detail. Carpets are all stained. Here's the befores, so you guys can see what it looks like. Now the back seats, oh, it's locked. Back seat, when you open them up, take a look at this. We're in for a treat. Now, my detailer can go ahead and take care of this, so we're going to leave this up to him once we figure out everything else. So we're going to have to make sure this car turns out good. You can see the paintwork before, and then we'll show you guys what it turns out and show you guys the process of what we go through on a daily basis. And you know what? This might actually lead into maybe buying another supercar. How many of these do we need to flip to possibly buy another supercar, maybe another cool project? I don't know, but take you guys along for the journey. This is what I do every single day. The supercars, the toys like that you see in the background, that's just my hobby of mine, and these cars right here behind me pay for that stuff. So let's go ahead, get all these cars reconned out for this week, get them all through, order up all the parts, and get this thing ready to go. There you have it. Fender to bumper gap there is all good to go now. Got the hood all lined back up. The bumper is all back on there. Everything is good. This side was popped out as well. Got this side all inside. The bumper is all saved. No need to do anything with this bumper. That's all good to go. And we got the rear bumper, and I'm debating whether or not I should get a new bumper or just repair this one. This one has to get popped out. I guess let me go ahead and heat this up to see what it looks like. If it needs much body work, it's only $100 for a new bumper. We'll go ahead and replace it. But if it doesn't, then we'll probably just scuff this down, get this body work a little bit done, and we'll see how that comes out. Because if I have to do a lot of body work on that, it's not worth the $100. If it comes out perfectly, where it's all just color sanding it and then just need a respray. Well, that saves me a lot more time because A, the color's already silver, and then we don't have to try to get a perfect match, even though we'll get the closest match possible, but we'll be able to blend this in and not use as much paint either. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to pop that bumper out just for the sake of the video, and we'll see what happens. Plus, I don't have a bumper here, so it's gonna take at least a day or two for me to get a bumper anyway. So let's go ahead and try that. At this point, it is safe to say that we're gonna get a new bumper because it popped out, I mean, decently for messing with it for about a minute or two, but there's just so many creases and little stuff that you're gonna have to do body work, get all the hides and lows out, that it's not really worth your time. Plus, I noticed there was a little crack right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and order a brand new bumper. We'll spray this off the car, get the paint code for this car and spray that in. So you guys will see this in the episode, but for now, we don't have any parts for this car. So what we're gonna go ahead and work on is taking care of the interior clips, because look at this. This is broken. This, I don't know if it's broken or popped off. And yeah, so let's go ahead and figure this interior out. So there you have it, guys. Take a look behind me. Obviously the bumper's not fixed. We're gonna have a brand new one come on in. So they're about 95 bucks my cost. Get that bumper all done. The whole side of this thing is good to go. That fender that was damaged was taken care of. The interior is gonna still need a good detail. We did get the glove box back in there, as you guys can see. Everything opens and closes perfectly. And the car is going together pretty easily. So far, we've probably got about an hour into it. Everything opens and closes. The switch was just popped out, missing a few clips. Got that one back in, and she's all ready to go. Just waiting on that bumper. But while we're waiting on this bumper, oh, and we're gonna have to order some, what are these called? Wheel covers. So it looks like we're gonna get some of those. The front lineup on this thing turned out amazing. Headlights, gaps, everything is perfect. Windshield's not cracked. We are ready to roll on this thing and get this thing out of the shop, and we're gonna bring in the next car. So we're probably gonna go ahead and do the oil change, go through the fluids and stuff like that off camera, because it's the same thing over and over again. That's pretty common sense. So you guys, the gist of that, how that all works out. But I'm just gonna show you guys the overall recon process and how we buy cars and give them a new life, because this car would have probably just sat there and nobody would have bought it. Ran through a couple times at the auction, nobody bought it. We saw it, realized we can add some value to it, and hopefully this will make someone another good daily commuter. So it is a 13 Corolla. These things do last a long time. Toyota reliability, and tax season is just around the corner, so it should go pretty quick. And take a look at what we got over here. The Infiniti is ready to go, all detailed up. It's getting its finishing touches right now. The interior turned out really good. Got the floor mats there, got this side all done. Everything on this thing looks good. Headlights are buffed out, polished out, tires are good. The wheels do offset the color a little bit. They're like a chromium black, and I believe they're Inkeys or Inkais, not sure if I'm saying it properly. And this is the S model, being the all-wheel drive platform. So this thing should go pretty quick. Gonna go ahead and get this thing listed up and hopefully get this thing out of here. And take a look at how that engine bay turned out. Everything looks really good. It's got, looks like 2 cooled air intakes, looks like they're engine intakes on it. And this thing turned out really good. It is a Z motor, so you do get the choice of 4 doors, also being the all-wheel drive. And it looks sporty enough where you can still go race, have fun with it, have a fun little car, and still take the family out, go to work, and do all your stuff all around that you got to do every day. It will make a great car for somebody. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing listed and on to the next one. And Take a look at the next car we just got in that came off the transport truck. Literally just came off the transport truck right over here. We got ourselves a Toyota Camry. Once again, minor fender bender. We got so lucky the fender's actually in here. Looks like it's in good shape. Nothing's damaged on it. It's got a little mark here, but I don't see anything, and that's just dirt from sitting on there. All the parts are back here, disassembled. The whole support cover, the bumper foam's not even damaged. All this stuff is good to go. This one is the XLE, so you get the full sunroof, leather, everything. Navigation on this one. It's got the weather tags. Whoever had this car really took good care of it. And up front, doesn't even look like it has any damage on it, except the hood right here. This will get bent back, and the bumper is gonna get a new bumper. That's it. Bumper and headlight. The fender's still good. We'll bolt that back on, put it all together, and send this whole car out to the body shop to get the whole thing resprayed. Let's pull this thing in. We'll show you guys some more around it. Here's inside the car. It is super clean. The dash isn't damaged. No airbags at all were ever even deployed on this thing. And we don't even have any lights on except for a tire pressure light, but that's pretty common because the car is sitting for a while. And normally when a car sits for a couple weeks even, and being the cold weather right now, you'll have that stuff turn on. So the one other thing I like about cars like this is that they're always super clean if you find the right one. Like, it doesn't even need it just needs an overall detail, that's it. But everything is taken care of because this car was once someone's pride and joy. That's why they have the weather techs in there. That's why they keep it so clean until one day something happens. In this case, an accident happened and it caused this car to go to the auction. Well, an insurance company is not going to try to match paint and all this stuff on a car that's a couple years old. This one I believe is a 2007 if I'm not mistaken, or 2010, one of the things. Either or, they're not going to go ahead and waste any time with this trying to get this all taken care of because of the fact that it's way cheaper for them in the long run to just give the customer a check. They don't have to pay for rentals, nothing else like that. Here is a good look of the frame rail of this car. The airbag sensors are right here. Everything's good. All the wiring harness is still good. The fog light is still even savable. Just the bumper got a little damage in it, and that was it. The hood is easily fixable. The fender's in the trunk. The insurance just took it off to inspect that pillar, and that's all good. So take a look at this. This is going to need a whole buff, but this is a great car for somebody, especially with all the options and how well it's very taken care of. So we're going to get this thing all redone as well. And like I said, look at all these other cars that we're getting reconned ready to go. This is all allowing an opportunity for somebody else to get behind a car in a safe, reliable car and allow them to save some money and allow this car to have another life. We're going to go ahead and take this front bumper cover off. We already know what part we're going to need for it. We're going to need a new headlight for it, a new bumper cover. We'll reshoot the whole thing, buff out the whole car, and this car is done. That's all this car needed. It's like 75 bucks or 80 bucks for a bumper cover on this thing. And this thing is an SC. It's push to start. So we're going to make sure we get all the parts on this thing. As you guys can see, the radiator support hasn't even shifted. It's still got coolant in there. So the radiator hasn't even busted. This was such a light impact. And this is the stuff that insurance companies total out. So as you guys can see, it ain't nothing to it. Let's go ahead and take apart this thing, save all of our pieces and clips, get the parts ordered up, and get another one rocking out of here. Avalon over here all sanded down, all the clear coat that was flaking off of it all sanded down, ready to go for paint. So this is going to go ahead and get dropped off at the paint place, get the whole thing painted. There's the back bumper on the Odyssey that was all messed up as well. And yeah, so far we've got this one out of our hair. The Avalon's all done as far as we're going with it for now. So that's going to get resprayed. And the G37, of course, is all done. Meaning we got these two projects and we're waiting on that bumper that should be in here in a couple days. And same thing with the rear bumper for this thing. And this is how fast we actually keep stuff moving so we can get these things done. We got this one all primered up right now. That mirror, just the outside skin. It was all peeling and chipped up. This one as well, but we keep having a reaction. So we're gonna wait for this thing to dry again, wet sand it down with 600, and get this thing all done. These side mirrors paint is just so thin and cheap. It was all like chipped up like that. So I have to go really light on the primer, but we're still getting a reaction. Not sure what that's all about, but I don't want to do anything with it because the primer's still a little bit wet. So we're gonna wait for that thing to fully cure, and then we'll go ahead and respray it, see how it goes. There you have it. We just DA'd the whole thing down to bare metal, got it all done, and looks way better. Whatever it was that was causing a reaction in that paint, I don't know what it was. It was coming off in little chunks like this right there. If I can get the camera to focus. But yeah, it was just a nightmare. So I said, you know what? Let's DA it, strip it all the way down, and get this whole thing all taken care of properly. So I actually was thinking about getting the whole car painted, but this white on this Toyota is like completely faded, as you guys can see. Looks really dull, you know, it's lost its color. I guess just oxidation. It's not as shiny as it was, but that's just a one coat buff, and take a look at that. I think we're just gonna go ahead and buff this car. The fender already saved us some money there. We're gonna order a headlight, a bumper, respray that bumper right there, which is just solid white, and throw the bumper on. This thing's ready to go. The hood popped out pretty good. Everything else is good to go. On this Camry, we even have this plastic piece that's in really good shape, hasn't been destroyed, and once again, you can see the frame is in the perfect spot. Same with the radiator support. All this stuff lines up perfectly. So we got that cover. We got a cover over here that I thought we were missing that I priced out when I bought the car. That's in there. It's perfectly good shape. A lot of saving parts in this car. We're gonna need a bumper and a lower grill. That's what we're gonna need. I couldn't find a lower grill in the trunk. I didn't find it anywhere else, but that's not a big problem. That lower grill probably popped off on the road, and that lower grill is probably about 15 or 20 bucks. Fender liner's still in here, absorber's in here, the mud flaps in there, the bumper brackets are in there. Everything on here is good, and on top of that, we had a napkin in here that had all the bolts that somebody was nice enough to leave all the bolts in there for us too. It doesn't get any easier than that. All right, well there you have it. I've only had this thing in our possession for probably less than 45 minutes, if that. We got a new bumper cover on the way. Bumper cover was relatively cheap. Got the bumper cover, the lower grille, a new emblem that's missing, and we got a bezel for the fog light. The fog light's still good. And we actually got 2 new headlights because I don't want to put one old one. And all the parts for this thing, including the paint for the front bumper, which is just 040 white, was under $200. So for $200, we got this car back on the road. Not yet, but will. So we're going to be waiting on parts. As soon as the parts come in for this thing, we're going to pull this thing back out and we'll get started on it. But take a look at that. Even the old bumper that we managed to pop out ends up looking perfect fit. So that's how you know cars don't have frame damage. You got to be very skilled at what you do, because if you do one wrong mistake, it could look like there's cars at the auction that have very little damage, and then you end up with something that's got a massive amount of damage. But just for clarification, I guess, take a look at this Avalon. Now this Avalon's an 02, 145,000 miles, clean title. It's probably going to get listed for around, I don't know, probably these sell for around $6,000. And this Camry is a 2007, if I'm not mistaken, 2009 Camry, and it's an SE, leather seats, sunroof, navigation, everything. Now, if this was a clean title vehicle, this would probably be listed around, in our market, around $10,500. This is gonna get listed and help someone out once it's all finished up and after we give it a new life for probably around $6,000 to $7,000. The same cost as that Avalon. Now you tell me, do you drive the car or do you drive the title? Especially if it's a daily driver. And even if it's not a daily driver, there's guys that buy exotic salvage cars like us. And I'm honestly kind of curious on what you guys' thoughts perspective is on this. I mean, would you guys buy a salvage title car? Keep in mind, that Toyota Camry would probably be in the $10,000 to $10,500, maybe even $11,000 price range in our market today. Navigation, leather seats, backup camera, heated seats is super rare on these, and finding an SE once again is super rare. Now, this is gonna probably be listed for like $69.99, maybe $7,500, almost within the same price range as this '02 Avalon. Would you get the '02 Avalon or would you get the '09 Camry? And that's the other thing. Many people, they just want a clean title car. They don't want any damages or whatnot. And I understand, maybe they got, you know, a bad experience buying a salvage or a rebuilt title car. But it's really hard to find these, you know, minor damage, because a lot of cars can look like minor damage, but one wrong move, you can make a big mistake. So that's where the expertise and experience comes in. So if you guys see all these YouTube videos and it makes it look easy, it's easy if you have the experience, because if not, you can really go to Copart.ia, log in, get excited, get bidding happy, overpay for a car, and get a lemon. But I want to know what you guys think. Would you guys get that Avalon or would you get that Camry? And do you even drive the car or do you drive the title? That's the other thing. So I want to know what you guys actually think. That's what's important to me. And that's the other reason I love seeing these before and after of these cars, because I'm allowing someone who doesn't quite have enough money maybe to get something reliable, gives this car a second chance, saves it from the wrecking yard as well. And a car like this shouldn't even be at the wrecking yard. There was barely any damage. I mean, no frame damage whatsoever. The bags weren't even deployed. We don't even have an airbag light or even a check engine light. I want to know what you guys think. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know. We got the Corolla bumper in the booth, ready to spray it. Let's go ahead, spray some silver on this. Hopefully get this thing assembled tonight. So you can see the Toyota Corolla behind me is ready to go. We got the bumper painted, everything ready to go, but there's still one last thing that we still got to get for this thing. And if you take a look behind me over here, you'll see for yourself. Take a look at these wheels. Look how ugly they look. Makes the whole car look bad. Now, we got us a set of 16-inch hubcaps. They're $40 for a set. And watch what a transformation this is gonna make. Well, we got the hubcaps on, and as you guys can see for yourself, let me know what you think. To me, it makes this a whole new different type of car. And just changes the whole look, makes the car look a whole lot cleaner. And for less than 2 minutes of your time and $40, really transforms how a car looks. Over here, we got the Honda Odyssey getting all detailed up. This one's all pretty much done. We got one thing we got to take care of in the door panels. But as you can see, there goes the engine bay. It's getting all shined up. Just wiping down the windows right now. And this one will be all done as well. So it's pretty simple if you stay on top of your stuff, guys. We got all the fluids done, everything topped off, everything checked through it, make sure there's no codes. And we got this one done as well. So we're gonna get these two hopefully photographed tonight. I'll throw the photos up here so you guys can see it. And take a look at that door panel all put back together. Looks so much better. Now we're gonna go and check out the other side. Carpets are getting cleaned right now, same with the interior. And take a look at this other side. So you're gonna see the before, and then you'll also see the after. All right, so here's the back of the door panel. On these door panels on these Hondas, they all disassemble. Now some of them have rivets, and you'll have to rivet out this backing plate. Take off the skin off of it. So you peel this off and it's all glued. There was the before. Here's our new skin right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on top. And we use some of the adhesive right over here, spray on adhesives, put it on, put it back together, screw it on. That's simple. This right here would have costed you probably 150 bucks, 100 bucks a side. If you get a new door panel, well, these door panels are pretty expensive. They're about $350 a side, so you're looking at $700. And this kit was about $15. So $15 with the material right here. Cut it out, put it on, and be done. Take a look at this. Got the RAV4 here from the auction, getting unloaded. These are all getting repaired as well. Take a look at these, all minor hits, all from the same auction house. Very simple fixes, no frame damage or nothing. But the RAV4 right here, we're getting it unloaded first, and everything on it's solid. It starts right up, runs perfectly. Everything's good, no airbags are even deployed on it. It's very clean inside. Man, this is another score, and I believe we get the bumper in there from what it looks like. Once I get up there, fender liners are in there. We'll see what else is in there, because I priced out having to order new upper grill, lower grill, emblem, and all that little fun stuff. So we'll see if this pays off. There's the car running inside. Up on the dash, you got 115,000 miles, and it's lit up like a Christmas tree. But you already know why. You want me to show you guys why? Take a look at this. There's the ground straps right there. And the ground straps were ripped out, so we're gonna have to go ahead and solder this back together, redo them, and then repair this wiring that goes right here to that, and that's it. Take a look at this. We are driving this thing back, lit up like a Christmas tree. The hood still latches, everything functions, AC works, radio works, everything works on this thing. So we're gonna get this thing back to the shop, and hopefully everything's good to go. We'll see what parts we have in the back. I also just noticed we have no speedometer. So we have all the lights on the dash and no speedometer. I'll show you guys what the issue is when we get back, and hopefully it fixes it. So here's why we have all the lights on. I assume we have a ground strap here. And as you guys can see on this side over here, the ground strap attaches right there. So we're gonna make sure all those straps are attached, fix the wiring and splice it real quick, just temporary to see what it looks like, and then I'll solder it all back together, and we'll figure out if the lights turn off or not. Got our wiring done right here, just temporary of course, and we're gonna go ahead and solder that, tape it back up, and everything looks good on here. Of course, this is why the car went super cheap. The thing was lit up like a Christmas tree. So we're gonna go ahead, scan everything, and see what we got. And we just scanned everything, reset the codes, have no faults. So let's see if we have a Christmas tree or not. All right, car's back on. Oh yeah, no Christmas tree at all. This thing's solid. Oh, let's make sure the speedometer works actually. Close this door just a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it moves up. I saw it move up. So speedometer is back alive and everything. We are good to go. And let's see what parts we have. So we have the bumper cover, and it looks like all the grills are in here, and this is money right here because, man, I thought we were gonna need new grills and everything. And look, the tow hook cover is actually there too. So that tow hook cover that goes right there, that tow hook cover, believe it or not, it's 30 bucks. You got the little grills right here. We got all of our grills here. Hopefully the emblem's in there because that emblem's pretty pricey, and yes it is. Upper grill, lower grill, center grill, license plate bracket. That right there is probably about $300-400 with the parts right there. We got our fender liners, one there, about 100 bucks. Maybe cheaper if you go aftermarket. We got the bottom one there as well. We got the under tray shields. We got the other side bumper cover, a little fog light right there. Man, the only thing we're gonna need is a new headlight. And the headlight's got the, yeah, it's got a crack right there. The fender is busted, so we're gonna need a new fender. And I like how they left all these little pieces, like these little seals things right here. These little things always end up costing the most amount of money. So this is only gonna get repaired for probably about $300 with the parts. We're gonna get two new headlights for about 100 bucks for both of them. The fender's like 60 or 75 bucks, and the bumper's probably 80 to 100 bucks the most. All we gotta do is paint a bumper and a fender, and we're good to go. Oh, and the back bumper as well. All it was wiring that was damaged. That's an easy fix. All the lights are literally off right now, and we haven't even soldered the connection, just twisted them temporarily. Once those connections are all good to go, we're gonna tape it, seal it off, be all good to go. And this thing's an easy fix. Fender, bumper, the hood is actually still good on this thing. Take a look at the hood. No damage on the hood. This little support thing just bent up right here. That'll bend right back. And the gaps and everything else looks really good. Let's see underneath the hood. I have not popped this open for you guys, I don't believe. Oh, it's got a heavy hood, steel. It's even got the pink stuff. It's got antifreeze and everything, and this motor just needs a good cleanup. There's no rust whatsoever. Everything is clean, and like I said, this is one someone's probably enjoy. Even the aprons up here are pretty good shape. They just circled over the little brackets, and those are easily bent back into shape. That one's missing it, so we'll order a new one and we'll weld it back on. But that's it, guys. Look at this. This thing is all ready to go, all cleaned up. Great tires on it. Everything's fully detailed and waxed. We got the inside done, those door cards all figured out, the bumpers painted, the side mirrors painted as well, and it is just looking really nice. So here's another one that's done, ready to go. A little bit of cosmetic work here and there, and that was it. Take a look at how the inside turned out. Everything's good to go. The DVD player, it's got a PlayStation 2 DVD player back there. The back seats look really good. It's gonna make a great van for somebody. It's got a total of 8 passengers that could fit in this thing. And there you go, PlayStation 2 DVD player. It's gonna be a great van. Fully loaded, navigation, backup camera, and everything. Power doors. Can't get any better than that. This Corolla's bumper is right over here on the stand, and we're gonna go ahead and throw this on there, get it installed, and get it out of here. There you have it, guys. But this thing turned out really nicely. The bumper matched perfectly, color's perfect, everything lines up perfectly. Car's all detailed up, ready to go, ready for its new owner. We're about to list it and get this thing out of here. All right, so we got our side mirror for this car, and once we have this on here, we can send this out to get the whole car resprayed. And just like this, we got this Camry that was sitting up here getting all buffed out, ready to go. We're gonna buff everything out because I've already buffed out the fender on this, because I'm about to paint this front bumper and I want the rest of the car to be ready to go and shine. And so he's actually detailing this car for us right now. Gonna get this thing buffed, polished, all shined up. So we throw the bumper on this thing and this other one will be ready to go. You can actually see the roof. You can probably see a line down there. There is a shiny surface up there. There is the unbuffed surface right there. So we're bringing this car back to life. Take a look at this. I haven't set any of the gaps yet. Obviously the bolts are still loose, so we still have plenty of play to adjust the gaps. But I just wanted to throw everything on here just to make sure that we don't have any frame damage, nothing shifted. The hood over here is lining up really well. This thing still has a bolt. It's attached, as you guys can see right there. But once it lines up and pushes in, it goes right in the spot. Over here on this side, we have a zip tie in there right now. As you can see, there's a zip tie holding it. And take a look at this gap. I mean, obviously, boom, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and spray this thing. That way it can cure for tomorrow. And if the fender does not match, then we'll blend the door in. But we gotta paint the inner jambs anyways of the fender underneath the hood and everything else. So might as well try to see, hopefully it matches. If not, we'll blend it in, no problem. Well, we got the fender on there. Everything's lined up pretty much for the most part, besides the headlights and everything else. But as you guys can see, the match is a little bit off. It's an old paint versus new paint kind of thing. So the fender really looks off, and we're gonna go ahead and actually blend the rest of it up. So we're gonna blend to the doors, blend to the hood, and then blend to the A-pillar. And that way we're all good to go. That way this side all matches. You don't want something like this standing out because it will make it harder to resell. You can see this in pictures very clearly. So it sucks, but we're gonna have to go ahead and do it. It doesn't take much more effort just to re-clear this hood and also that door and then spray some paint on it. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, and then we're gonna put the bumper on there and see what happens. But for now, we're on hold with this car. We're still waiting on the headlight that's holding us back. Once that headlight and that bumper bracket comes in, then we can throw the bumper on there and everything else, and then we'll put it back into the paint booth, mask it all up, spray and blend our panels, pull it out, and this one's ready to go. All right, so the next thing we're gonna go ahead and take care of is these wheels. The wheel has a little bit of paint chipping off of it. We got a can of silver here. I sprayed a little bit just to see if it will match, and it looks like it's gonna match pretty closely. We're gonna scuff it down with some 600 and then tape up that section, mist it in there. You gotta go really lightly with silver because you're gonna run all the metallics down, and I'll show you guys how we fix it. We're actually gonna be using some 320. You could also use 400 on this. 600 just was taking forever, and 320 works really well. It doesn't put any grooves in it either, just because this is metal, so it's not like it's plastic or anything. But you want to just feather out the corners, kind of like what I did over here. Once you feather them out, then we're gonna mist some paint on them. Take a look at these wheels now. They look really good. And I know what you guys are gonna say. Why don't you guys mask this up? Why is there overspray all over the tires? I'm gonna show you one simple trick that's gonna make this more faster and more efficient. All you need is a rag with some paint thinner on it, wipe around the excess, and you'll be good to go. There you have it. These wheels look good. These wheels over here we redid as well. These look really good. On this side over here, we got the wheels done over here as well in the front one, and we got the back one done. All look good. That's how you do it. Take a look at the Toyota Camry behind me on the lift. It is 100% completed. Well, 99.9% completed. We're missing three things: front main emblem and the two fog covers. But let me show you what we got done. We got this Toyota Camry all situated. Everything lines up perfectly. Gaps, sides over there. We're missing that emblem thing, the two fog light covers. Unfortunately, those two snap on from the outside, so we could have gone ahead, assembled everything like we did, and not have to take this bumper off anymore. We even got all the lower shields, the panels, and everything else installed. A lot of people don't do that stuff, but we got everything transferred over from the old bumper over here over to the new one. So we're back to the RAV4, and what we're gonna do is scuff up this door and that top pillar right over there, and we're gonna go ahead and blend this side over here to the door so we can get a perfect match. Now the other thing is, if you look at the front bumper over here, the front bumper has to go ahead and get assembled. So now that the paint's cured after a day, we're gonna go ahead and assemble this front bumper up as well. You see how it looks like before, and I'm gonna show you guys how it looks like after. There you go, the bumper's fully assembled except for the two little covers, and we're gonna go ahead and actually paint these as well. That way they match this bumper since the color is slightly off. We're gonna be blending everything, and one of them scratched up anyway, so we wanna make sure everything's taken care of on this thing. Let's go ahead and scuff up this panel and get this thing all ready to blend. take a look behind me, guys. We got the RAV4 out of the paint booth. Everything looking really good. Take a look at the paint job on this thing. It matches perfectly. Now we're ready to go, waiting for the headlight, and this thing is ready to rock and roll. Everything on this thing turned out great, matches perfect. We even painted those two little things right there. Get the new headlights on this thing, and this thing is ready to go. All right, so this Toyota Camry, we got a new battery for this thing, and this thing's gonna be all wrapped up. We actually got the two fog light covers right over here for them as well, and the new emblem, so we'll throw this on. Let's go ahead and get the new battery in there and throw on those covers. And there you have it, guys. This car is all completed. We're gonna go ahead and take this thing out, take some pictures, and get this thing listed. Another car done right up real quick. Major transformation from what it was when it came in about a couple days ago and how it's leaving out of here. We make sure everything works, serviced it, put a brand new battery in it, topped off all the fluids, make sure everything's good to go, make sure the lights work, and it's out of here. Our headlights just came in, got this side installed, got the other side on there right now. We swapped over the bulbs. Let's go ahead and throw that on there and get this one done. There you have it. Take a look at this. We got everything all on there. Everything lined up perfectly in the correct exact position, all the clips and everything else. And this front end is looking good. We got to go ahead and put the fender liners on and the under tray stuff on and the two little covers right there for the tow hook. But let's see if this hood closes. Moment of truth. See if the hood closes. Take a look at that. The hood shuts. Everything looks good. All the gaps are looking good. This is ready to get bolted on and get detailed. And guys, just like that, we got 5 cars all finished up. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up some pictures of the Toyota RAV4 that we got done, but this is every day what we have going on. As you guys can actually see behind me, we actually got some more cars in here that we're working on, because it's always keep going, turn and burn. And on top of that, we want to make sure all the cars that we get are recon properly in an effective manner. So we're going to go ahead and give all these cars a second life and then sell it to somebody who's going to be able to drive this thing for another 50 to 100,000 miles until they begin to sell it. And it's just a repeat process over and over again. But guys, if you guys like these type of videos, more of your your everyday cars, drop it down in the comments. We'll show you guys some more behind the scenes and stuff. But if you guys like stuff like this, drop it also down in the comments. I want to see what you guys like. Also, smash that thumbs up button. That's all for today. So make sure you subscribe so you can see when the new video comes out. But until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.